Hello everyone and welcome to another video of the Music Behind the Story series. I'm Daniel de la Cruz, the official composer of the original soundtrack of the Symphony Book series by Elena Díaz Valdés, and today I'll be talking about the creative process that I experienced when I composed the Battle of the Forest Glade. Now, I must admit that the process of making this song was rather ambitious, since this battle that I had to portray was pretty complex, with so many details to take into account, and parts that needed to be highlighted in the music in order to make the listener experience this epic moment of the book, and be like taken straight to the battlefield, where Aedrian is fighting these three brutal Corinthus leaders, Agathos, Ennagor, and the very, very dangerous Onkar. So, this song starts with some suspense, as tensions in the air. Aedrian, his loyal friend Toro, and his army are waiting for the enemy, until each one of their leaders make their appearance in a menacing way. And then a conversation between both sides about Aedrian's betrayal to their species and so on starts, which finally triggers the beginning of the conflict, and Aedrian has to face the three Corinthus while his men fight theirs. So this part of the song needed to transmit that feeling of tension rising and an imminent threat approaching our protagonist's forces, to then take the song to the next part, which is Aedrian's duel against the skillful Agathos. Here, the song clearly becomes more aggressive. The real battle has finally begun, and each and every note played by the violin is like representing every attack that Agathos delivers. So, in other words, I intended to make the listener feel and imagine the fast movements of the spear she is wielding, trying to kill Aedrian quickly with a fatal blow. Something that he avoids, ending the fight as soon as possible, and then going to fight the next one in line, Ennagor. So here the music, again, changes dramatically to introduce the next opponent's battle. Ennagor doesn't have a weapon, so he just relies on punching, biting like a madman, kicking if necessary, and using his sharp claws. So he straight away jumps to kill Aedrian with his unpredictable movements, and gives him a pretty difficult fight. And then something unexpected happens. The flow of the music changes once more to introduce a new situation that takes place in this battle. The Duke, Wagner Storven, Aedrian's relative, makes his appearance in this battle and helps him save his own life. So an excerpt of Wagner's theme is played here, and the mood of the melody changes from very serious danger and even vulnerability from the protagonist's perspective to hope and positivity about winning this war against the Corinthus rebels. But one Corinthus leader was still standing, the most ferocious of the trio, Onkar. This is the final stage of the battle. Onkar is a beast in all aspects and wields a humongous axe with which he is known everywhere for slaughtering his enemies. But Aedrian is no less powerful, so this part of the song is very chaotic and brutal. Two very powerful Striga fighting each other to death. What I wanted to do here, like in the previous parts where Aedrian fights Agathos and Ennagor, is to represent the fighting style of the opponent, and in this case I wanted to transmit the heaviness of Onkar's movements and the bloodlust that characterizes his personality. Every attack that Onkar delivers could practically mean the end of Aedrian, but both Aedrian's physical strength and stamina were slowly giving him the upper hand, so the song reaches the climax here, as victory is imminent. And then, for the last part of the song, and to end it on a positive note, I think it was a good idea to play a heroic and uplifting version of Aedrian's theme, representing his victory and the end of this dreadful battle. So Aedrian manages to win the war and save the realm for now.